Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir SilentGods video. In today's video, we're gonna look at another one of the chief challenge bosses, and this time around, we're gonna be looking at Quesitia, right? She's the next one where you have to use poison damage, obviously if you want, to get 100% more damage, as you can see over here, and I believe that this is the one that everybody that has Rook should 100% be focusing on because, well, Rook can help you get some obscene damage numbers, right? So let's look at the kit, which is, I guess it's pretty straightforward, but still let's have a look at what the boss does so we have an idea how we can tackle it. Let's start out with the passive because this one's a pretty quirky one. And it's because of the fact that it does this. There is a 50% chance of inflicting recharging speed penalty on the attacker for 5 seconds when taking damage. This effect can only be triggered once every 3 seconds. The hero takes 30% decreased damage from basic attacks. So pretty much if you have people that do lots of damage with basic attacks that are poison, you would prefer not to use them. However, when it comes to poison, that's not the case. If this was Shadow, then like, yeah, that would have been a problem. Or Dauntless, right? Because they do it, mostly it's all about basic attacks. Especially Shadow, like if you have Ozul, that helps a lot. But this is not the case. Now, on the battle skill, drags the farthest enemy towards the hero, inflicting necrotic damage with a 75% chance of inflicting fear and knocked up for 3 seconds. Meanwhile, has a 75% chance of inflicting healing prohibition. So this one's gonna happen always to whoever's gonna be the furthest away. She's just gonna keep dragging them, and pretty much when she's dragged everybody, everyone's gonna be around her. Then the next one pretty much does the same thing, because obviously she does 2 battle skills. And then on the ultimate, launches 3 attacks to the target area, each dealing necrotic damage to enemies within range and reducing their ultimate energy by 10%. There is a 100% chance for the third attack of inflicting knocked up on the targets and a 100% chance of inflicting attack penalty on them for 10 seconds, right? So knocked up says unable to launch basic attacks or cast skills, which pretty much means, well, you're not going to be able to do anything for that period. However, I'm not sure that a knocked up is for 10 seconds or it just happens on that spot. I think it happens for 10 seconds, but the bigger problem over here is the attack penalty. However, I'm going to show you with the positioning how you can pretty much, get around it so that you are not affected by this one, right? So that you're not affected, at least when it comes to your main damage dealers, right? So let's go into the file. Let me show you the team that I'm using, and it's gonna be a pretty straightforward team. It's not this one, I just used my last one, but honestly I pretty much throw in either my poison or my vortex team, which is just, I think they pretty much have the same builds if I'm not mistaken. Let me have a look. This is the one, and yeah, this is pretty much the team. So what I'm using is Frurbath, then I'm using Reta, then Whisk, obviously Rook like I mentioned, and then Dargo, which is going to be my Witch's Remains. So the best way to place them, if you want to avoid to have your main damage dealers to have the highest damage, is going to be having 3 of the people be straight up in front of her, because like I mentioned, when she does her ultimate, see, this is the line that she's gonna hit. So if you have 3 people in front, she's always gonna hit this way and people forward. Now you see that I have Rook and Dark over here at the back. Well, basically what's going to happen, she's gonna drag them, but they're gonna be on the side, right? They're gonna be on the side of her, so they're not gonna be affected by this ultimate hit. Now, because I have Reta as a ranged, and I have 2, I have 2 of them that are, melee. Because if I have them placed like this, and like this, for example, she's just gonna drag them over here. Maybe you could still do it like this, right? You can still have like this. She's gonna drag Reta maybe first over there, and then the rest of the back. But let's start the fight, and let's see exactly how she does it. I'm not gonna do it on 2 times speed, I guess, or sorry, 10 times speed. Let's just do it a little bit, and let's see when she starts dragging people how she's gonna do it, because like I said, the focus is the one that's further away. So let's see, battle skill. See, she tried to drag Reta. Okay, this is actually an interesting thing that I guess, again, just by testing, because I haven't tested this a lot, but just by testing, I managed to find out something quirky, which again, I guess this one didn't happen because I got 3%. But because I have Reta in a resist build, she could have been the one that's at the back, and she would have never been dragged towards the front because of the fact that she had resist. However, it did happen, and now watch when she does the ultimate skill, right? She's gonna hit the 3 in front. Those are gonna be the ones that get attack penalty, but then my rook is not gonna be getting attack penalty. So this is gonna be just the ideal way that you want. Like, the 3 people that you care less about getting attack penalty should be the ones that are straight in front of Quesitia, and then your best DPS towards the, towards the back. So when she does drag them, she drags them to the side of her, and then again, every time she does her ultimate, she does not hit the ones that are on the side. Now, the quirky thing about this one is you can let it full auto, right, and see how your RNG works. However, because of the fact that you have the recharging speed penalty that can be inflicted on you when you hit the boss, you can go out of rotation, right? You might not have defense penalty when rook hits, you might have things go a little bit off, so it might be ideal that you manual this fight. Because again, like I mentioned in yesterday's video, when it comes to the Chief Challenge fights, you only need to do these fights once a week, right? It's not like you have to do it every single day. You do not want to manual it every single day because it's going to become boring, tedious, and you might not enjoy that. So if you go ahead and just manual it, you might be able to always make sure that defense penalty is on the boss before rook does his damage or before your normal DPS do their damage. And even like this, even full auto, I managed to get 228 million, as you can see. However, if I'm not mistaken, I think the highest I did was 240 million, and well, this is an obscene number, right? Obscene number, it's all about rook's damage. Again, he does insane damage. However, one thing that I want to mention again, the same thing happens with all of the Chief Challenges. Let me show you exactly what I want to mention. The fact that it's not ending today, right? You still have, what does it say? 2 days and 11 hours left. So my suggestion would be wait until the last day if you can, obviously if you're going to be available to play the game in the last day. But I would say wait till the last day to do your fights, because you might get improvements, right? You might get better runes, you might get better gear, or also you might get a better psychic core. For example, in my case, I should be getting, maybe in a couple of days, I should be getting to 40,000 affinity solvent to upgrade my damage mitigation more, or to throw in some more damage, some more attack, right, for them. So I will always wait till the last second to try and do that. Now let me just go ahead and quickly show you the builds that I have on this team, so you have an idea of what I'm using. So Frurbath, obviously he's going to be using the Horn, and then he is an Ancestral Protection build with a defense % chest. So this is pretty much straightforward what you want to do on Frurbath. Do keep in mind, you need 280 accuracy to land your debuffs, but if you do have the Affinity Solvent upgraded, you get 50, right? You get 50 from there, which means you only need 230 accuracy in order to land your debuffs, okay? Or at least to be consistently landing them. That's why you see he doesn't have 280, he has, what, 249, so he's just about there. Now, the next one is going to be Rita. She's the one that wears the Chest of Radiance. You might not have this if you haven't played Season 4 before, because this is the one that you get from finishing the Pillar of Trials. So if you don't have this one, just any other support artifact that can help you, go ahead with it. Like, I'm not sure what I could suggest for Rita, but again, see whichever is going to do best for you, and that's what you're going to use on her. And then, because she does debuffs on the battle skill and on the ultimate, I have her built in my Cyril's Whisper, right? Every time she does a debuff, puts attack up on all my champions, which is going to be perfect. And as a thing, she does have, like I mentioned, she does have resistance, right? I did build her with resist because I want her to be resisting those debuffs. Maybe the accuracy is a bit too low, so that's like 265. I should try and maybe get a little bit more accuracy if I can from somewhere. I have a ton of pieces that I would need to roll up and try and do that, but pretty much I chose to go with resist on her because I want her to be doing this as much as possible to extend those debuffs and to put the defense up as often as possible, and at the same time obviously land accuracy penalty and attack penalty as much as she can. But it's not mandatory to have attack to have resist on her or whoever's going to be your other support. Just build them however you want. Now, when it comes to DPS, I have Dargo. He's the one that wears the Witch's Remains. Then he does have this glove. I guess I can swap actually this glove and give him... You know what? I think I already did that in my Vortex team. But I can swap it and I can give him another one of the gloves, because I got the ones that make him do more damage than defense penalty is out there. It's not going to be a ton more, right? It's not going to be a ton more because he's not the best DPS in the team. He cannot get that much DPS because of the fact that he needs accuracy to land the Witch's Remains, but it still can give us a little bit more damage, and you know what? That's going to help. Then we have Whisk. Whisk is the one that's wearing the Swamp Toadstool. Toadstool, yeah, Toadstool. This is basically the corrosion exclusive artifact, and I pretty much got it for him. Then when it comes to the set, Shade of Death is the one that I went for on him. I think this is the one that is pretty much the best, but at the same time, I think between Shade of Death and then this one that I have on Dargo, Emissary's Whisper, I think they pretty much get the same damage bonus. However, the advantage of this set, the Shade of Death, is that at least you get 15% more crit rate, right? Whereas this one just gives you a bit more skill haste, which you're not that desperate to have for this team. Yeah, these are his stats, obviously attack percent, crit rate over here, and then, yeah, that's pretty much what you have. If you don't have this one, whichever is going to be your next best damage type artifact. And then when it comes to Rook, I don't have his exclusive artifact. Obviously, if I had his exclusive artifact, I would 100% use it, but because I don't have it, I'm using the next best thing, and that's going to be the Poison of Swamp. This one does more damage than the Toadstool one, especially because you want this on somebody that inflicts more corrosion, right? Because Rook basically scales his damage the more corrosion you do, which means you want this one to inflict more corrosion, so Whisk inflicts more corrosion, and then Rook is going to take advantage of this with the damage, and pretty much this is amazing. Gives you so much more crit rate and crit damage that if you don't have his exclusive, this is the next best thing. Again, Shade of Death on him, plus another one of those Strike the Unprepared that makes you deal more damage against target with defense penalty. So you pretty much want to try and have it timed so he does damage when defense penalty is out there. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for today. I think I'm gonna leave it at this, and I think tomorrow I'm gonna do a video. I was debating which one of the fights to do next, but I just realized something, and I think this is gonna be the next one that I'm gonna do tomorrow, because this one you might be able to use 4 DPS and 1 support if you have Cinderella, right? I have a feeling, I might be wrong, I'm obviously going to have to test it, but I have a feeling that you're going to be able to go ahead, especially if you have a Rook team, which means you should have that Affinity Solvent up. I have a feeling that this would be the best thing to do, right? Get Cinderella in there to be the tank and to support it, and then go ahead and throw in there 4 wild people, right? Which is going to be whoever's going to be your best. From my point, for me, for my team is going to be Erich, Felicity, then Talonan, and then somebody else, which I think it might be Elfie, right? I think it might be Elfie, especially because I think I can group them together like this. Does he hit on this one? Let me see. Summons a Nexus, designated area, increases success rate. So I think this might be the best one that I can do, right? I'm not sure if it's going to work perfectly though, because I think he's going to go ahead, but he does a weird thing when he places the Nexus. However, I'm going to be doing some testing, and I'm going to let you guys know how it works. But anyway, this is going to be it for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider liking it, subscribing to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.